Hi, everybody. Welcome back. And no, this isn't the twat seat, but I heard that one twat in particular had a few things to say. So, guys, welcome back to Hot Messy Topics, where we're going to keep this upbeat, positive. But I'm not going to lie, I've received a lot of messages from different housewives and Bravo personalities who are really happy with the coverage that we've been giving, because I feel like we are always playing devil's advocate. I feel like we always give a fair assessment. I think that we showcase the good and the bad, and I think that there's a certain art to it. There are so many people who personally invest their feelings into these stories, and I'm like, I don't give a shit to invest my feelings into these stories. Instead, all of these shows are meant for one thing: for you to come back from your home or like work life, to sit down, grab a glass of wine or Prosecco. Jason's going to make fun of me for saying Prosecco, and just chill out and watch. But then there are so many people who are just like, I'm going to take you down. And that's not me or Jason. But with that, so many topics. Smash the like button. If you guys are not subscribed, get subscribed. Let us know where you're watching from in the live chat. And let's welcome the husband, Jason.
Hello. I love my title is the husband.
Oh, yeah. It's always the husband.
Yeah, husband's in the pool.
Yeah, husband's in the pool. Why is my husband in the pool? Because me and my husband pushed him in, or we put him there.
Because I pushed him in. I love it. I love it. There's so many things to talk about today. It's kind of unbelievable. And we can leave it twatless today. I think we can leave it twatless.
Well, I honestly wouldn't have brought it up unless Western Burbs Kristen, she came in and said, Adam, your name came up on the twat seat yesterday with Katie and Teddy. And I was like, okay. So then I said, what did they say? And then it came out and said, well, Vicki said, called you a twat, I reckon, right, West? Which I'm not quite sure. But at the end of the day, here's the thing. Like,
I've been called worse.
One, I've been called worse. And two, every time Teddy, which I buried that whole thing when Teddy went through, and she's still going through her health situation. I buried all of that. And I went on and I said, guys, this is all for the birds. Like, it's not a big deal. This is all just like kind of BS. Her health crisis, like, she is a mother, she is a wife, was a wife. She is somebody's daughter. You know what I mean? Like, she is somebody's best friend. She is somebody's sister. And so we're going to table this. And I really thought that was doing the right thing. But then going on and being like, well, the guy we cannot name. I'm like,
Lord, well, I'm sure this came up in, the conversation of what's happening on the Real Housewives of Orange County with Gretchen and Katie and Kiki and potentially Sheena, because she can't stay out of anything. We'll get into that a little later, I would guess. But yeah, very different. And I want to talk about that situation. I know we mentioned it on members. We had such a great members live yesterday.
Oh, you guys.
It was so fun. It's so relaxed.
If you're not a part of our members, you have to go be a part of the members. The members is such a fun sneak peek into our lives behind the scenes that it's not so cotton candy. I feel like on here, I'm a bubblegum gangsta. And then I feel like over there, I'm just like straight up, like, this is where we're from. This is what we have to say. And we're
very Shannon.
And I'm like, Shannon. Well, actually, no, I feel like I go in like Dorinda. You know what I mean?
Dorinda. I'd rather go in like Dorinda than Shannon. Like, I just would. I don't know why. I don't know why I do the neck for Shannon. Sorry, I'm not trying to, like, whatever.
No. Western, thank you. Actually, they were not bashing you in any way. They were making a connection between Kiki and Sheena and talking about one of your shorts that you did and how Gretchen and Sheena are friends. Okay, well then we will leave you alone, twats. But
well,
I
also, I've said this
my eyes
too when we were at BravoCon almost 2 years ago. Guys, we're 8 weeks out from BravoCon. Just
oh my God.
FYI, if anybody wants to know, we are 8 weeks out. We have such a big BravoCon planned. Adam and I are going to be separated. We're going to be with some different people. It's going to be a lot of fun. So now is the time to get in members, because we're going to tell you a lot of it leading up to it. And we're going to take you with us. And I don't think you're going to want to miss this year. But we did attend, and I hope we get another invite. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Because we were the only like non-housewives there. We did attend that iHeart radio
aside
party.
from Joe Gorga, though, we were the party. Like,
oh yeah, it was
you guys
so.
if you ever have a party, invite Jason and I. Like, we are the fucking party. Like, everybody stands around and they're so proper and they're like, this is how it needs to be. And oh my God. Even Kate Chastain walked up to us and she's like, Adam. And I was like, did I say something bad about you? And she was like, no. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. And you know, like,
how could you? It's Kate Chastain.
Yeah, well, right. And I'm like, I love you. I know I didn't say something bad. Well, BravoCon though, Jason, it is a gamble. And Emily has learned this with going around with me. She has learned because Emily goes everywhere with me at BravoCon. I take her behind the scenes. We do all of the things together. And I love Emily D. Baker. But
she's such a great person to have on your arm too. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and she's good for these
just
moments.
like,
actually, no, hold on. Let me say this. And Emily, I love you. She totally, like, she will leave me on an island and be like, this is so uncomfortable. And then she'll recap it with me once she walks away. And she's like, oh my God, that was so weird. That was wild. And I'm like, Emily, like, where did you go? I'm like sitting here getting my ass ripped open. Like, what happened? And she's like, girl, this is your fight. This is your thing. And I'm like,
I love
get
it.
that. I get that.
I love it so much. Yeah. She's so funny. Yeah, no, but I hope we're invited back to that 2 T's in a Pod party, the Our Heart Radio party. They were so brilliant to do a party the day before BravoCon gets going. You know, the ladies have that open night, so they threw Tamara and Teddy threw a great party, a great party at their penthouse wherever they stayed. I forgot.
I think it was the Four Seasons.
I'm not sure. Are they staying there again? Is that what's happening?
I'm not.
They're spread out. Yeah. They're spread out though, because not everyone stayed there. You know, like like a couple of people we know won't stay at the Four Seasons. They don't know why, because Four Seasons to me is like great, but some people are like, the Dubai ladies are like, well, we don't do that.
The Dubai ladies and the Beverly Hills ladies, you guys are so bougie. Actually, and some of the Miami ladies are so bougie. They're like, oh my God, that's so nice of you. The Four Seasons.
Yeah. Why are you looking at it like it's a Motel 6? It's not. It's actually whatever. Anyway, they threw a great party. I hope we're invited back. My whole goal was to get you and Teddy to talk because you guys have so much in common when it doesn't come to the stupid shit. And I would love one day just to see you guys on a podcast together. Just one time. It'll never happen, but whatever.
But yeah. All right. So with that, guys, definitely go check out the members. We're going to be doing another one. And during BravoCon, I'm going to commit, just like the same way that 2 T's in a Pod did. I'm going to give them a lot of respect for this because not only were they able to host a party, they had I think it was a 2-room suite. Maybe it was 1 room. I'm not sure.
I think it was even bigger.
It was bigger, but they were pooling talent into the room while the party was happening in the main area. And they were pulling talent doing like these little clips and interviews the entire time. They were working their asses off. And I love somebody with great work ethic. These two have great work ethic. And so for me, the least I can do is do 20 minutes every single day after BravoCon to give you guys like a quick members only recap, which
like after the next day. I don't think come home and be like,
so the first day I'm not going to do it clearly because I don't have anything to recap. But the second day, let me just tell you guys, in 48 hours, we had stories for days in Palm Springs. Like, I'm going to have stories for days. There's no stone left unturned ever at BravoCon. Ever. That is the Super Bowl.
Ever. So, I can't wait. I'm actually really excited. 8 weeks out. You know how fast 8 weeks goes, right? Like, it goes. I know.
It makes me kind of sad. But
guys, if we're switching subjects and you're in the live chat and you want to ask a question related to what we're talking about or related to anything else, put a Q by it. I will start it in the live chat so we can bring it up. I do want to bring something up because I want to get people's opinions before we get into all of the topics today. That kind of like rubbed me the wrong way a little bit.
I know where you're going.
Okay? Can I? Thank you. Okay, I wanted to bring this up. Oh, you were prepared, so you listened to me this morning.
I listen to you sometimes.
I want to talk about this Alli Lubber situation because I was scrolling the internet, keeping my finger on the pulse of the community as I do, or as I really don't. But
that's such a great way to word that.
I stole it from Josh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's,
of course,
prolific in all his words. But I do want to say there was this Facebook or Reddit post, I can't remember, and they were just trashing Alli. Just trashing her for wanting to be on this show, for filming at all on Southern Hospitality. And I just got to get into this a little bit because someone made a side by side of all the keyboard warriors. Cause guys, a lot of keyboard warriors are, oh, hi, Kendrick. Love him, by the way. A lot of keyboard warriors, they say one thing, they say another. It was less than a year ago after Kathy Hilton's Christmas party, where allegedly James Kennedy threw Alli down on the ground, right? And everybody, and all the uproar is, oh my God, she deserves better. She should be on the show without him. She needs to go find her own thing, her own moment, her whatever, right? At the same time, LA sucks right now, guys. That was our home forever. Things have just changed there drastically, especially just that area of LA. Yeah. So people are leaving right and left. We left, So Alli is looking at other places that she could go. She's very familiar with the Low Country area, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's anything from Savannah, Georgia up to Charleston, South Carolina. She's very familiar because I think her parents have a vacation place here. And she's been down here many times here in Hilton Head.
Right.
So the fact that she might be filming Southern Hospitality doesn't surprise me. Also, she's actual friends with Maddie Reese and Joe Brett. She's actual friends. It's not, I'm trying to be on the show friends. If you recall, Maddie Reese read off the coattails of James Kennedy to start her DJ career.
Well, so, which it was a lot of, she would open for him. Yeah.
She would open
Maddie
for
Reese
him,
is very talented. We're not taking that away at all.
No, I'm just saying, I would have done the, are you kidding? I would have done the same thing. James, where are you going? Let me open. You know what I mean? But I just feel like it's so funny to see the hypocrisy of we want her to win, but now that she's trying to win and she actually loves Charleston, she loves it down here. It makes sense, why are we bashing her? I really don't understand it.
When we did,
you had a lot of DMs too.
I know, I've gotten so many DMs, you guys, and I did actually an Instagram about this. And in my Instagram, I was like, you could tell because guys, I have just not been feeling the best. I think that I've been very, very upfront about this. But in the DMs, I heard a lot about Alli Lubber. And if you guys didn't see the reel, because now there's reels being posted, this is in a nutshell what I said. The amount of DMs that I am getting about Alli Lubber right now is insane. I have said this on all of my videos. We're doing members only live tomorrow. I'm not feeling that great right now, but of course, that's not going to stop me from working. However, with Alli Lubber, let's just talk about it. Everybody's like, well, she moved to Charleston. She's doing Southern Hospitality. I think she's so desperate for doing Southern Hospitality. What a pick-me girl. Oh my God. She's so desperate to be on reality TV. Shut the f up. That's what I have to say. If you're DMing me about it, that is my opinion. If she is presented with another opportunity to have a platform to potentially use that platform and create something for herself, whether it's sponsorships, brand ambassador, whatever, then let the girl live. Who cares? What does that affect you? If she moves to Charleston because she loves Charleston and she happens to be on the show, let her live. And I'm not speaking on it again. I'm not speaking on it. I'm
no, I am.
And I never want to have this conversation again. So that's where I'm at. Love you guys. Bye. Okay.
I mean, so it makes sense. So she's more compelling than half the cast of Southern Hospitality. So I would watch it just to see her on it. It's a great crossover.
And I was going to say too, guys, at Sheena's show that Jason and I were heavily involved in,
wrote.
Love you, Sheena. We wrote the show from the pool in 20 minutes. The entire show, the cards that Sheena uses now, we were the ones who got her to start using those, printed them off.
Anyway, this is not Adam.
It's not the first time. I know page 6 is the ultimate copy because they literally copied everything. Love you guys, but
everything from Spilling Tea Live. That first tour we did with Zach.
But in this moment during the show, I'm hosting, asking questions, and I said, guys, I want to give a shout out to the beautiful Alli Lubber, who is in the audience today. girl, you killed it on this season. I just wanted to make sure. And she was sitting next to Ariana, and Ariana like gave her a big hug. And I was like, Alli, we love you. And it was something to that effect. Now, at the end of the show, James was like, hey man, thanks. That shout out was so great. And I said, man, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. We kind of grew up at SUR together in some weird way. And I was like,
you both like 5. Like you shouldn't even legally have been working there, I think. Like what?
Well, and I was like, by the way, you got my assistant fired. And he's like, and I meant it as a joke, but
which one?
At the time, we had somebody who was working for us who was posting really, really not great photos and polls. And I was getting a lot of messages from Bravo talent. And I think this person thought like the worst photos were the best photos to use. And I was like, God damn it. Like, no. So I made a joke and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't get anybody fired. I don't know I don't know who you're talking about. And Alli looked at him and was like, James, like, calm down. Stop. And then he stormed off. And I'm like, I don't even know what I said. Like I was literally making a joke. Like, what is wrong with you? And Alli looked at me and she's like, I love you and thank you. And since then we've had a great relationship, friendship. I jumped on the phone with her the other day and I told her, I was like, girl, I talked to her. I talked to Lubba. I said, if you're offered an opportunity and people are being nasty to you about it, it's because they're jealous that you're offered a platform that they're not offered.
Yeah.
But as of right now, most people don't get offered these opportunities. This is like God putting you in the right direction, or the universe, or whatever you believe in, and lean into that because there's so many opportunities that can come with it. Just go with it. Like, who gives a shit?
And it's an opportunity to like, like start something new, be in a different place. I think that's great. And I think that's what she needed.
Yeah.
Her podcast is still doing very well, by the way. She is singing too, I think like almost weekly at Zach Stacks, Lubba's place, famous Zach Stacks from TikTok, if you haven't heard. But yeah, she's singing there. Great place. I think the art gallery, whatever was in there, closed. So now they have like a music room. And it's supposed to be really fun. I haven't been. I mean, I've been to Zach's, but I haven't been since they've made that change. So,
right.
Yeah. Well, she needs a fresh start. And no, California guy in the live chat, not bashing LA. I'm just saying it has changed a lot. It will change again. It will get better. Politics aside, the whole city is being mismanaged right now. It's insanity. It's insanity. And I hate going back and seeing like the old places we used to love so much. And it's just like, but it will get better. It always does. It'll get better. It's like New York.
Sugar and Honey Mobile Bar. Thank you guys so much for wiping my ass in Palm Springs. You ladies are the best. These two sisters have the best company and they kept me hydrated for sure. But then also
definitely kept me hydrated.
I was given a little nips. I was just showing the nips. And they helped me out a lot. And all of a sudden I went to walk away after I lost my tennis bracelet. And I was like, my diamond. And I don't know. I felt like Kim Kardashian, like losing my diamond earring when she was in Bora Bora. I know a lot of people won't understand the reference.
Interesting that you felt like that.
Yeah. Definitely not the same cost. And I went to walk away and they're like, oh, no. You have black stuff all over your ass. And I was like, what? These people let me walk around this party the whole time and no one told me. And
you
they're
probably
like,
sat in some like cigarette crap or whatever,
I know it was probably when I sat next to Brandy, but okay. All right. Before we move on, I want to talk about the Sheena and Kiki stuff, but we have some questions. So let me bring them up. Jen M. Adam, will you have Ryan Bailey on the pod soon? I love both of your takes. Absolutely.
Love him.
Ryan Bailey is busy as hell. Just like I've said this. I just received another message about the Taste of Reality girls. And it's like, Adam, where is everybody at? I love doing these collabs with Jason because we're on the same time. We can kind of work around each other and it makes a lot of sense. It's not like I have an issue like committing to times and stuff like that. But really, other content creators are trying to do the same thing that we're doing, which is keeping yourself busy and pumping out the content. So Ryan Bailey is busy. Taste of Reality just launched a YouTube channel. So congrats to them. Everybody's busy, you guys. So it's not, there's not like some personal thing to it. And I would love to have everybody back.
Yeah. But he's on Jeff Lewis a lot too.
Jeff
Ryan
Lewis
Bailey.
just mentioned him too, because they were asking him like, whose car would you get into? Like, who would you trust to get in their car? Like, if you needed a ride to the airport. And the first person he named was Ryan Bailey. So the guy is just a beautiful soul.
Busy.
We love.
He was like the last person we
him.
saw before we left Charleston too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen M said, I actually feel like Jason and Ryan Bailey would be hilarious together. A 3-host hot messy soon. You never know. Honestly.
Never know.
Lisa Young, thank you so much for joining. Western, thank you so much for joining. And Jason, I have to get into this.
Let's get into it because it's the biggest thing that's being talked about right now.
Okay. So where do I start here? I'm going to start. Hold on. Right.
I feel like we're playing like 3 lies and a truth with this whole story. Who are the liars and who's the truth teller?
Well, here we go.
I was told, who knows if this is true, but I was told that Gretchen and Sheena are very tight.
Yes.
And that Sheena told Kiki.
I have heard that from multiple people too.
Okay. So I'm glad that we got that figured out. So, I heard that they are very tight. So there's multiple sources that could have told Kiki.
There is an account that was created just for this. I was sent.
What?
I'll send it to you if you would like me to. And actually they sent it to Matt and Matt sent it to me. And he was like, this is how it makes sense. And it was Sheena. There's clips of Sheena calling Gretchen with Kiki on their podcast together saying, how do we get you back on the show? How do we do this? And it's also, it's this stream of like 20 slides of how it makes sense.
What I was.
Okay. So before I bring up what Kiki just posted, because she just posted a response. Actually, you know what? Let me just bring up the response and then I want to hear what your response is. Kiki just posted this and said, John Cougar Mellencamp's daughter is spreading lies on her podcast about me and Sheena Shea. This is the weirdest fucking sentence I've ever written in my life. Okay.
Wait, that's it? We still haven't gotten any explanation from any of these people. Just FYI. Like,
where's your head?
Where is my head? My head is right now I'm Team Katie. And I'm just going to come out and say it. I might be wrong in the end. I don't care. I think this is my conspiracy theory. So allegedly fucking everything for the next like 2 minutes. Okay. I think Slade put this in somebody's head to attack Tamra. I think that they planted it with Katie. I feel like this is, I don't think Katie told Kiki. It makes sense that Sheena would tell Kiki because Sheena and Kiki do the show together. They do shenanigans together, just like Kiki does Reality Checked with Dorinda, right? The problem is, I think Kiki should have kind of stayed out of it, because like we've been down this rabbit hole before too. We almost got pulled in. We almost got destroyed from Salt Lake City. You had all those texts from Whitney that we could have shown and proven, but then we would.
And I had a lot of warnings from people telling me if I don't share the text that I'm done.
Right. But instead you kept your, whatever. And then production came to us multiple times. Multiple people came to us and said, we need you to come to Mexico. We need you to come to Mexico. Show up. Do this big thing. But then it's like you become the story. You're not supposed to be the story. You know what I mean? That's what I hate about like blogger, content creator drama. Who cares? You're not a fucking housewife. You're not interesting. You know what I mean? All we do is talk about the shows. It's not like, we're some celebrity or some shit, right? But I wish Kiki would come out and say something, but I think maybe she's going to be pulled into the reunion at some point. I don't know, because it seems like, she's really relishing in it because she just posted a TikTok the other day. And I like Kiki. Don't get me wrong. Okay. You're closer to her than I've never met her. But like, when you're posting on TikTok, like do a shot every time you hear my name and stuff like that. It's like, what are we doing? It makes it seem like you did it for clout when I know that's not her character. I don't think that's her character, but also Sheena's character speaks volumes right now. You know what I mean? She's throwing everyone under the bus for anything. So I have no idea. Like I cannot wrap my head around anything and no one is telling the truth. The only person's story who has stayed consistent has been Katie's all the way through. don't know. I don't know what else to say. You know what I mean?
Here's
So-
the other thing. I wanted to acknowledge this. So Kris Jenner ended up going on, I forgot who is the little guy. He's like the little like
it's a
heavier set
Kardashian
guy.
analogy.
I know, but who's the little heavier set guy that used to do like the singing in the car? He had a talk show. People say
James
he's an
Corden.
asshole.
Come on, Adam.
Oh yeah, James Corden. So he did a lie detector test with Kris Jenner and Kylie Jenner, and this just came out. And the lie detector test, the guy who is administering this was the same man again as Puppygate and as this. And they asked her, "Did you have a hand in, well, putting out Kim's sex tape?" And she was like, "No." And they're like, "That is true." Okay. Well, if you guys didn't see the Kardashians, like the billion-dollar industry, the empire, whatever, there was a whole documentary, and the original team that was behind making them who they were, putting them at the Ivy, putting them at Craig's, putting them in the places
Ivy,
that they
huh.
getting them flower bombed on the red carpet, creating so much press for these girls. This was the OG team. And then as soon as everything started building, they got kind of left to the side. So these people felt some type of way, and they felt like, okay, we're going to come forward and we're going to share this. In that documentary, they talk so heavily about how they knew about Kris and why they know this is true. You guys have to go back and watch it. And so I'm just looking at it, not from that perspective, like a Kardashian perspective, but then there were other things that were amiss, like Tamra Judge talking about the being diagnosed with autism, and then that question failing it, but then editors like going back and like showing the scene with her and her doctor where it was clearly exactly what was said. And I'm like, wait a minute. So what the is this lie detector test? Is there any validity to this lie detector test? And now I'm starting to believe what Jason's saying about Katie, and I'm starting to wonder who is the one lying. And I truly think Jason's conspiracy theory about Slade, I think Slade is slimy. I think it's slimy Slade.
Oh
and
yeah.
I think he's doing
Did you
some
see him
shit.
on that reunion? They even played the clip on Orange County. He's just, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, you're not the, I hate when the husbands, I hate when they try to come in and like change things or be something, like Louis Ruelas. Like, annoyingly, please step to the damn side. Like, you're not interesting. Nipola, Todd, okay, cool, you had your heyday, like, enough. You know what I mean? It's like all these different ones, and I feel like Slade is like slimy like that too. It's like he has some kind of weird infatuation with the show, and it's strange. But I also want to say, I feel right now on Orange County, watching last night, watching their beach party where they were all sitting around going over good times, you know, Heather Dubrow, so funny and ridiculous at the same time. Everyone's having this good time, but you're leaving out a cast member. Why are we leaving out a cast member? If anyone should be off that cast, it's, in my opinion, Shannon. It's like, we haven't seen anything great from you, and you're always like eating cheese on the side, or like doing this, or like throwing play. Like, I'm over her. You know what I mean? Katie is the first interesting newbie we've had in a very long time. I know a lot of people might disagree with me. Some people think she's a liar. Some people are playing into the whole, you know, circumstance of it. But I just feel like she's being bullied out. And this is the thing that we talked about the other day. And I'm sorry to run on like Dorit here, but
go ahead.
This is the thing we talked about the other day. Stop giving ultimatums on who you will and will not film with. That is not reality TV. That is not Housewives. I think some contracts need to be, you know, pulled back a little bit, and we need to not pay you if you're not going to film. That's it.
Right. That is called a job, a job. If you don't like the job, get OUT and STFU. Like, shut up with that. Thank you to Bravo and Blaze. We love Jenny. I cannot wait to see you, Jenny, at BravoCon.
We'll see her at BravoCon for sure. Yeah.
She wrote, Slade definitely screenshotted Tamara's IG story from the night that she quit and sent it to Matt, because last night they zoomed in on Matt's text messages between him and Slade. And you can see, here it is, where it was a long run when life gives you real problems, blah, blah, blah. The reality shit doesn't matter. And so you can see the conversation between them. what gets me a little weird about this is I understand that you feel it. I feel like this is some Mean Girl shit. Like it's Mean Girls analogy. Like, please, everybody raise your hand if you have been personally affected by Regina George. Right? Okay. And I feel like Slade is like right there in the back. Like he's like Damien, the one who's like too gay to function. And he's like, I'm talking about Damien, the character. I'm not saying that about Slade, by the way, guys. Let me just.
Well, you never know.
But also you never know. And that's not a problem. We're gay. So whatever. But I'm not claiming that. Let me just say that.
And you know what? Some of you never knew.
And so what I was going to say is even the fact that you're sending that to Matt, these things that you're watching of Tamra, probably from a Finsta, I would have to guess, because I don't think that he's like silly enough to like let his name pop up in her stories. There seems to be a weird little obsession here of like trying to come in and do a takedown.
You think?
I'm like, and then Vicki Gunvalson came out, in case you guys did not see this. Actually, this adds more context to all of this. And I'm going to just play it really quick because
is this the Morocco thing?
Did I play this last time?
No.
Okay.
Maybe, but play it again because we're talking about it. Makes sense.
So I'm going to play this really quick. Here we go.
I mean, we were in the Berkshires. He called a lot to the producers and wanted to manufacture and help Gretchen out. He didn't get signed up. Gretchen did. So I just find it really weird that Slade is calling Matt after their time at Mastro's to discuss that.
Well, that just made my jaw drop.
He was calling her, asking her what she was wearing, asking her what drama there was, calling Clark, our producer, trying to figure out what was going on there. I mean, we were just 6 or 8 girls just having fun. We were not filming the Housewives of Orange County. So it wasn't like, let's go hurt somebody and kill somebody and figure out a way to hurt them. That's not what that Berkshire trip was about. Not Berkshires, it was Morocco. But Morocco, it was something. Slade did that.
Dude, you're giving me trying to pre-produce. You're giving me, I want my wife back on the show. I want the money from the show. You're giving me helicopter husband. You're giving me slight Louis Ruelas, but like not as as wild as Louis Ruelas. Like Louis Ruelas, I feel like we'll get in it with you. Like Louis Ruelas gives me like Gotti vibes. Like you want to fuck around and find out, you'll fuck around and find out.
But it's like fake Gotti vibes. It's like his fake tan.
Right. But Slade gives me more like it's very bubblegum. You know, it's like
it's the like OC kind of this the OC mafia.
Like
you know?
when
they're
Louis
like, hey,
exactly. When Louis gave me me the signal at BravoCon, like Adam, right? Yeah, I know. And then he shook my hand. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
I'm like, bro,
but
are
like,
you Louis or Donald Trump? I can't tell with that tan girl.
But if it was Slade, I'd be like, oh hey. Like I would not be worried about that confrontation at all. I'd be like,
get your keyboard warrior on. You know,
like,
it's fun. By the way, I love Christian's accent. That's whenever I listen to the podcast or whatever, I love listening to.
I think he lives in Charlotte.
He has a great. Yeah, he's not far. Yeah, it's weird. I just don't like it. You know who's really reminding me of someone like that too is Jody on Miami with Lisa. I'm like, can you just? I don't want you on a confessional. You know, it just comes off weird. Just stay out of it. You know, he's sitting there texting Larsa to like, keep me out of your mouth, blah 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 blah. But then he's like wanting to be part of the story all the time. You know?
Okay, so we're going to move on from this, guys. It's up to you guys to figure out what you think is going on at the end of the day.
Please comment below because I really do want to know what you guys think about this whole situation.
Right. And Kiki is saying that it's not true. And I didn't have time to reach out to Sheena before this, so I don't know. And let's be honest, like Sheena will turn this into a podcast. So once she does with Kiki, because that's how this is going to work. I'm not like, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. We will be back and we'll talk about it on another Hot Messy. It'll come out this week.
I do have to say Kiki is not one to play games. I don't think that's her. So unless she has something in her back pocket, stay out of it. You know.
I mean, honestly, Kiki was saying that she had to defend her name. We're two totally different people. That's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. I have nothing bad to say about Kiki. I think everybody.
No, not at all. I'm just saying, like,
I also had a name
know.
to defend. I also got lied on.
1000%.
And I didn't.
1000%.
And I went about it a different way. And I did not speak on it. And I waited until I saw Whitney face to face at the DirecTV party, and we had our own conversation. Funny enough, it was in front of her entire cast for the most part. And I think that she was pretty heavily embarrassed. And that is all I needed. I didn't need to do it on a public TV plot like that. That wasn't the, everybody handles situations different. So I'm not judging Kiki for that.
No, I'm not judging. I'm just saying someone needs to say something. You know what I mean? Like, it looks weird because like a lot of people are calling it out, saying that you know, Kiki works for Andy on Radio Andy doing Reality Check with Dorinda, right? So it looks a little odd that we're not saying anything, but maybe someone's telling you not to say something because you're playing along. That, in fact, does kind of take out the part where you're supposed to be a journalist, but also journalists don't give up, you know, they don't like give up their sources, and it was very quickly given up, you know? I don't know. No.
Breakaway 34. You're not wrong by that.
And no one's a journalist here. We're not covering reality TV to be a journalist. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
It's a book club, right? We all read the same book. We all talk about it. It's fun. That's the way I look at it. We're not on like CNN being like, look what's happening on this side of the world. No.
We're going to take some more questions really quick. Matt said, what does Slimy Slade do apart from getting Gretchen back on the show? Well, I'm not quite sure. Everybody says that he's unemployed. I actually don't know his job, and I don't know if he's employed or not employed. So I don't want to speak on that and be ignorant. Truly,
he probably runs Finsta accounts for Housewives.
Well, I think that everybody can speculate, but I'm sure he has a real job. Like, let's be honest. Vicki Harnish said, I mean, I hope he has a real job. Vicki Harnish said, I'm glad Jason agrees with me because I've suspected Slimy Slade from the start and said it in a chat. Well, Jason, we rock. Vicki, yep, you can always count on Jason. And yeah, I'm gonna go back to the live questions. If you guys have questions, you can post them. But I want to maneuver this over to Jason brought up a key figure from the Real Housewives of Miami. Last night we got in parallel OC and Miami. And
love Thursdays for that, by the way.
Huh?
I love Thursdays for that, by the way.
Well, yeah, and I also wanted to almost talk about the OC mid-season trailer, guys. I just thought it was like there wasn't. So I'm gonna leave the OC trailer alone. I put that on the lineup. Just go watch the trailer. There's not a whole lot to take away from it. Tamara and Gretchen, Emily hit the nail on the head when she's like, this relationship is going to be like milk. It has a shelf life. That's exactly what happened. Tamara ends up flipping out. She walks away. Shit hits the fan, and Gina calls Heather Dubrow a pussy. Like, there's your takeaway. It's not like some big crazy thing. But going over to Miami,
do something.
I don't understand, and I think that this is the general consensus amongst the rest of the group about Lisa and Jody's dynamic. And I think that Lisa heavily leans on Jody, which you should as a partner. Like, I heavily lean on Jason. I think vice versa. We both lean on each other for different things. We know our roles, right? But in this situation, it's giving me Nene Leakes like yelling at Peter Thomas saying, stay out of bitch's business unless you want to be a damn bitch. And it's like, oh my God. But for Jody, why are you in the confessionals? What is going on? And for Lisa, you do question as a viewer, do you have the ability to, are you making sure that everything is greenlit? Like, before you say it, are you making sure you're taking notes on the show? You're making the women uncomfortable. You're late. Are you sitting on the phone? She's
not taking notes for her lawyer. She's taking notes for Jody. So when they kiki at home, not Kiki, but Kiki at home, like they can go home and be like, this is what happened. What should we do? Like, that's how it comes off, you know?
And
like,
one of the
husbands to stay away a little bit, unless you're in Jersey.
Larsa said this on the show. She said every time she gets on the phone with Lisa, that Jody is on the phone with them. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, I just want to talk to my friend. Like, what is that, your manager? And I sat there. So guys, not last year, but the year before, the last BravoCon, when we dropped that Katarina Mazepa,
or
Halleck,
Nahilic or whatever the hell
when
it is now.
the interview, when we dropped that interview, I jumped on the phone with Lisa. I felt terrible. I had multiple housewives who were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, so,
but also multiple ones who are like, "This is what you signed up for." So
right. And I made the
and
decision
also
to-
it wasn't a bad interview. That's the thing. Like we didn't do the interview to get.
we agreed
into
to never
Lisa's
talk
face.
about her.
No, she wasn't even mentioned.
Was never mentioned one time. I actually felt like I did a disservice in that by not playing the interview to the person who gave me her time, hired the glam and everything. I felt like an asshole for cutting the interview, which she ultimately just went and posted the interview anyways on her Instagram. So it didn't matter.
Right.
But
Right. It doesn't matter.
Going back to it, after that, I had to jump on multiple phone calls with Lisa, and on every single phone call, Jody was on the phone call. And there was one time where I got on the phone with Lisa and she said, hold on. And then she came back. She's like, hold on one second, put me on pause. And then she came back and she said, Jody, are you there? He said, yeah. Adam, are you there? Yeah. And so put Jody on the phone call with us. I've never actually had, to my recollection, a private conversation with Lisa, so I can kind of see what the ladies are talking about. I don't get it,
Yeah. You know what? The two, like if the interview ran at the time it was supposed to run, it would have only made Lisa look better. This is why we took it too, because there's different sides of different stories. We always take the underdog story too. It's just like everyone blames you for being the one responsible for like, why are you giving this person a platform? It's like, okay, shut up. Like we're just giving another side to the story. Whether they tell the truth, i.e. Jen Shah, or not, that is up to them. You know what I mean? That, again, we're talking about like being a journalist or whatever, or an interviewer. It's just like, let people say what they want, put it up, let people decide, but it gets very, very vitriol on YouTube where people are like, Adam, oh God, you shouldn't have done it. And it's like, well, also, I think we were planning an interview with Lisa at the same time too. Right. Like later, right? And then that just like fell flat. But it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
But you know what is a big deal? When you're on the phone, because you speak to many. It's so annoying, guys, how many housewives blow up Adam's phone. And how many, but for different reasons, not just the show. We have a very Nick Viall approach when it comes to things. Anything that's said off we don't have to say off the record. It's just not brought up. You know what I mean? Right. Like we don't take photos with people when we go meet them. We don't, fangirl or whatever, because we're not fans. But we're, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just like, when you are on the phone with a housewife, I am not in the room. Or if you're on speaker, I'll walk away because I want you to have your attention on that conversation or whatever. I'm not, it's these helicopter husbands, man. I don't know what to do about them, but they don't belong on Bravo. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for the housewife. It's not a good look for them.
Right. And actually I had a Bravo talent the other day who was telling me, about the season, how they were impacted by the season, what's going on. And I was like talking to them about like, listen, this is how I would pivot if I were you. And just like really spilling the tea, this Bravo talent. And I'm like, I can't wait to see the show. They're like, no, I'm really, really nervous about this. And I was like, look, you signed up for it. Now it's done. You filmed it. We got to get past it. And we're going to move on. And people are going to forget. But it's going to live on TV forever. So, yeah, that sucks.
And you know what the best thing to do is? And some of the OG housewives had this, is they were just themselves. Lisa Vanderpump on screen is Lisa Vanderpump at work. I can tell you that. I worked for her for a long time.
But like, then Jason comes down. Well, what I was going to say really quick is Jason comes down. He's like, oh my God, what did they say? And I was like, piss off. Like, that was my conversation. Like, I'm not telling you. And he's like, why? And I said, because
my
I don't
mouth
know
is
if you're
too
going to
big.
get on the phone and just spill the tea and just accidentally spill. Like, I don't even tell Jason unless Jason happens. The only time Jason gets the tea is if I get a call and we're in the car and it goes on speaker in the car. And then I'm like, shut up. And then Jason's like,
okay, I'm not that bad. Come on, listen.
no,
you know,
no.
There is a housewife or two that don't tell you a lot of things, but tell me things. But it usually has nothing to do with the show.
Yes. Vicky Harnish, Marisol is shady and mean girlish. Your thoughts? Well, Adriana Demora just recently said that in Sevilla when Adriana and Alexia did not get on the plane. She said that Marisol and Alexia invited the girls up to her room and said, okay, guys, we are going to boycott the plane. Well, I posted a TikTok about this. And from my understanding, I feel like Marisol is kind of like, that didn't happen. I don't know. I haven't talked to Marisol, but I've seen some other comments and stuff like reacting to this claim. And then Adriana ended up going on, and I don't have it like right here, but Jason has it on his phone. She went on and she commented pretty much saying that Marisol is a slime ball and she gets things done and then hides her hands after, pretty much saying
No,
that
she
she's
said,
like the one
Adriana, no, she replied. So I think, was it the same TikTok or another TikTok? Because you posted a TikTok, and Marisol said lies, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Adriana said Marisol manipulates and schemes and hides the hand.
Yeah. That's what she said.
I think that Marisol and Alexia are both very, very, very smart women.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
you gotta think she did PR her whole life.
Hello.
She knows.
Hello.
She knows
how to pivot
she's doing
all the time. Yeah.
Stephanie, do you think there needs to be a housewife consultant to tell some of these women to put the filler down because you're looking crazy? No, just let them look crazy, because it adds comedic relief at this point. But going back to the show,
man, I want to know which ones. Which ones are you talking about now? Now I want to know.
The only thing that I didn't love about last night's episode, I think that there was a lot of like resolution. I think that there were a lot of feel good vibes. I like Nautical Stephanie. I didn't love that Nautical Stephanie all of a sudden seemed like sort of a shell of herself, as if like, I'm like, where is the fire? I almost kind of feel like in her mind, she felt like, okay, well, every time it's so crazy, so I'm going to really subdue myself. And I look at it the other way, sort of like, just lean into it. If that's who you are and that's how you feel about these situations, lean into it. Just own that shit. And I feel like this was an episode where we kind of got away from that. And I'm hoping that's not what we have to look forward to.
I don't know if it, yeah, I don't know, but it was a nice contrast. But you could tell when she was talking to Marisol in her room, you could tell she wanted to react, but she didn't. You know what I mean? But like, if I think Nautical Stephanie does not belong on a yacht. Nautical Stephanie is like a submarine, but when she pops up, you're not going to know she's coming. And she said that even. She's like, you better take all the hits, because when I hit, I don't miss, you know? So I think she's taking inventory of what everyone's saying to her. I think she's like taking it in a little bit, which is, it's good, because sometimes you need to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. As we go, we're going to move on from this, but
by the way, can I just say there's not one cast member of the Real Housewives of Miami. Oh, never mind. I was going to say that I don't like.
Julia.
But Julia is just kind of, you know.
Julia, though, this season is giving me flip-flop vibes. You know, I saw where somebody posted, you know, we're sitting here throwing a party or we're putting together a trip for Alexia because, you know, she's heartbroken by Todd while she's still talking to Todd. She's still trying to figure out everything about Todd after letting us know that how Todd allegedly treated Frankie, and still she's having these conversations with him, but we're going to throw a trip together. But like, the fans were like, fuck that, because what about Gertie beating cancer? Like, why didn't we put a trip together for her? And I was like, oh, that's a really great point, you know? And for Julia, what I'm not loving on this is the flip-flop shit. I feel like, one, at the end of the day, you were the one, and I understand you have a job. You were the one who wanted, you know, like, I have this empty nest, and I feel like I want to be a mother again. And Martina,
is this your Russian accent? It's really bad.
I don't fucking know. But she's like, Martina and we just want to be, it's this babies, and we just want to make sure that our house is whole again and our chicken coop is full.
I know, but every time she calls Martina, it's like she's bothering her.
Well, and also Martina, like, what the you just like adopted the kids, and like every time we turn around, like Martina looks like she's just like weathered. She's going through it. She's like running around. She's trying to bake shit. There's things happening. These two kids, and
she's like, I'm an athlete. What the fuck? I can't do all this shit.
And Martina's like looking like this, like, yes, like how I feel like you would be. She's like,
hi, I have two kids. Yeah, well, now I take that back, because when you call, sometimes I'm in the middle of like 15 things. I'm like, what? Like, what do we need? You just left the house 5 minutes ago. Now you're calling me 3 times. Like, what is going on? So I get it. She does have her hands full. Martina has her hands full.
But then it's also like you just adopted the boys, and now every time we turn around, you're gone. And I know that that's how it appears on TV, and she's not actually gone all the time, guys. I understand the difference. But there's Bravo Fan Fest. Before they got on the cruise, they went to Bravo Fan Fest. Then they were in Sevilla. There's things, there's trips. A lot is happening, and it's not just that. In between, you still have BravoCon, and you have Hey You, where you have to go over to Australia and you have to promote. There's a lot happening. So
Hey You, it's Hey You.
Hey You. Well, whatever. But moving on. So
wait, can I also bring up Larsa too? Because someone just mentioned her in the live chat. She's activated this season. Like, her confessionals are funny. I know. But like it's like, this is a Larsa that I've been waiting to see. I'm like laughing when she, like, when Lisa was like, I'm finally divorced. It's such a big deal. And she's like, what, from the lawsuits or whatever she said? I was like, girl, you're killing me. And even her confessionals are like, she has become housewife. I mean, she's always been a housewife, but like some seasons it's been kind of like, mellow yellow, like just off to the side, very vanilla, and now she's like kind of
what happened was
her own a little bit. I like an activated Larsa.
Well, she came in the first season and she heavily leaned into what she was used to before I think the whole friction happened between her and the Kardashians. And she really leaned into, hey, you guys, it's Larsa. And like,
hey, it's me, Kim.
It's like, we're here.
I'm just here doing this. Like, oh my God, they talk like they're B-roll. It's so boring.
Guys, we're in Vegas and this is about to pop off. And I'm so excited. Can you tell? And it's like, no, we can't tell. But now, after being on the show, you can see where she's more leaned into like the housewife, where she's like, bitch, shut up. And you're like,
well, because it doesn't work very long too. Like the Kim Kardashian thing and the Kardashians, because I know we're going to get into a little bit of Love Thy Nader, which is the next generation's like big show. It's so good, guys. I did not want another thing to watch. I'm already like catching up on Made in Chelsea. And that's my guilty pleasure. Like watching these kids like make fools of themselves. But like I feel like that kind of thing, you can't be that stagnant for that long. It's always, you watch the Kardashians every freaking week. And like, yes, they are interesting. Yes, you've built empires. Yes, you made something not great and turned it into, took lemons into lemonade, as Yolanda would say. But, or Bethany, I don't know who the hell said that. Who cares? But, that whole facade of like, hey guys, blah, blah, blah. So I'm glad Larsa's like jumping ship from that. And she's literally like a whole different person this season. And I'm actually really enjoying watching her.
Right. No, me too.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say really quick, because you guys were asking me about Karen Huger. I'm going to make this just 60 seconds.
Oh yeah. We need to do that. Yeah.
Karen Huger, you guys, clearly she was released from prison. She was given 2 years. 1 year was suspended. She ended up having to serve 1 year, and they only made her serve 6 months because of good behavior. So she was finally released on Tuesday. After her release, she got glammed up. She went straight to it. And Bravo, Real Housewives of Potomac, everybody filmed every single thing to come with it. Now, everybody was wondering after that, what is the residual effect? Like, what happens after her release? So if you guys are not up to date on this, what happens after her release was she had a really petty fine of like, it was either $2,600 or $2,900, which is ultimately nothing, especially for Karen Huger when you're walking around with, $8,000 Chanel bags. But she had a petty fine, and she got five years of supervised probation. And if she serves 3 years of that supervised probation, like just doing it well and like not violating anything, then the last 2 years will be unsupervised probation. She has 1 year with a suspended license, so she's not allowed to drive. And then after that 1 year with the suspended license, she is going to have to put a breathalyzer in her car. So I wanted to just keep that short, simple, sweet, to the point, and let you guys know what the update was with that. And then before we get into Love Thy Nader, I wanted to just talk about this for a second, because a lot of people are talking about the Denise Richards legal battle. Now, Denise is calling Aaron Pfeiffer's mother to court to testify against Aaron Pfeiffer's, which is wild because the house that they completely just looks like they ransacked in Calabasas, which he says we didn't. We left it in better condition than we left. So I'm just wondering, did you live like a gremlin? Because that house looked like shit. Audio. Did you? So I didn't understand what he was trying to say, but going back to it, she's calling the mother who apparently witnessed him choking her, squeezing her head in between his hands, slamming her head against the towel rack, like shoving her to the ground, sticking his knee in there, holding her head down by her hair. And she's saying the mother knows, she witnessed it, and I want to call her to court to testify. So that is the latest on that. And we're going to watch how everything plays out. And now Denise also crazy back and said, you want spousal support, you motherfucker? You want $120,000. So she just, in return, filed a new motion in the court asking for her own spousal support. So she's like, she's not going to get that. Well, he doesn't. Like, I don't think that there's anything to get spousal support for.
Yeah. Like, what are you going to sue him for? His phone bill? Like, it's, it's not like, I don't know.
All right. Now let's get to the holy grail of everything that I've been so excited to talk about. You guys have no idea. Did you change?
Change?
Did you add a hoodie? Like, were you wearing that the whole time?
Yeah, girl. I'm not a magician. I didn't like flip.
Well, you were off the camera for 2 seconds.
I know. And I used to do quick changes, but not now.
Love Thy Nader. Oh my God. This is the new show. This is my new Kardashians. I love these ladies. It's so funny because at first, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really know much about them. I didn't know a whole lot about who they were. I don't think a lot of us knew a whole lot about who they were or are. These sisters are so funny. I think at the end of the day, they came in, they were super raw. We have Brooks, who's like the main one. She's the oldest sister, and she just got off Dancing with the Stars. She was linked up with Gleb Sajinko, and
who cheated on her.
He cheated on her. While the show's going, perfect timing. Girl breaks into the phone. She finds out that he's a scumbag. And then we have the sisters who are just like backing her throughout the whole process. They all moved to New York together, and Brooks was like, we came from the Louisiana Bayou, and we used to have to go to church and communion and do all of these things. And I always knew that I had a bigger dream than this, and I wanted to do something different. So if I was going to get the opportunity, I was going to take my sisters with me. Homegirl over here ends up landing Sports Illustrated, and then does it for another, I believe it was like 9 covers or 9 years. Now moves to New York, gets this show that's executive produced by Jimmy Kimmel, right?
Jimmy Fallon. Fallon.
Kimmel. No, Kimmel. Google it. Trust me.
Is it Jimmy Kimmel? Is he taking? So who's taking a page out of Ryan Seacrest's book, because he is the one who produced the Kardashians?
Jimmy Kimmel. I'm telling you.
Are you sure?
Positive, 100%.
Are you sure you're positive? Just want to
go ahead, Google it. So, anyways,
Jimmy Kimmel, you win. I hate that.
I know. It's on Hulu, you guys. Then we have the youngest.
Well, it's on Freeform and Hulu, so you guys can watch it on Freeform.
Well,
if you don't have Hulu,
I feel like if you look at this, let me just like tell you really quick who the sisters are, and I'm going to tell you from left to right, because the sisters, this is a lot. It's a lot to kind of just like walk you through. We have on the hold on, here it is, right here. We have on the very left, we have Grace, who is trying to figure out her life, and she had an alcohol addiction issue, and she ended up partying too much, and the sisters held an intervention. Okay. And so now she's trying to get into modeling, but she has an incredibly wealthy boyfriend in Palm Beach, and he owns a safari in Africa. and they fly private and they do everything private. So she
As
really
they
doesn't
do.
need the money. She's trying to build her portfolio. The rest of the sisters are like, you need to work. And she's like, well, I don't know if I do. Then we have Mary Holland, who worked on Wall Street, left to right. Mary Holland ends up deciding, hey, we're going to leave Wall Street and I'm going to do my micro retirement and I'm going to lean into modeling because my sisters are making so much money modeling. Why am I doing Wall Street when I could do this?
Oh my God,
But
I'm
she's-
about to micro retire in a second.
She's the calm one. Lastly, because we know who Brooks is, Sarah Jane on the end. Our young 23-year-old lesbian who's just hooking up with everyone.
Wait, is she a lesbian or I don't think she has a title, does she?
She doesn't have a title, but she's like, I love girls, I like guys, but we don't see her hooking
I know,
up
but
with
you
guys.
can't tell the
She's
young
really
kids
hooking
not
up.
to have a title. Like no one wants
Just
a title.
watch
you know what I mean?
Love Thy Nader. And we will
Here's
come
my
back
thing.
soon.
Here's my thing, Adam. I can't get through an episode of the Kardashians. I cannot.
It's not the thing.
B-roll central. It's like I'm getting an aerial tour of LA. You know, that's like the Kardashians for me, right? And some shows you watch, I'm like, okay, cute, whatever. Adam was like, just watch this. Just watch this. Actually, you did this to Gelsey when we were in Palm Springs.
She didn't even care what I was saying.
Yeah, but now she's like, oh my God, the show's so good.
Oh, she watched it?
And yes, and I
Oh.
am the same way. Now I'm like, this is just so natural. It's not heavily produced. We have so many shows now. I mean, you have some housewife shows that are very heavily produced and you can tell which shows those are. Then you have other housewife shows that are not. London. So good. But
Well-
you need, hey, you, as Adam calls it. But
It-
this is so good that there's such great, I really got to say, you hit the nail on this. I really like them a lot.
Last but not least, you guys, the whole family is so like the cousins and everything. You can tell they're so jealous of the sisters. So Easter is like their big thing. So they go back to Louisiana for Easter. The family has like a crawfish boil thing and they all have to go to church and they're like sitting there. Brooks is sitting there yawning and the sisters have this thing where they get tired. They slap the shit out of each other. Like, and you're like, holy, like what? So she starts
That's what our
yawning.
dogs do to us in bed.
Right. The preacher is like sitting there and he's like on this Easter, blah, 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 like talking, not blah, 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 but like he's like sitting there just doing his thing. And Brooks starts yawning and the youngest sister turns around and like you could hear it. And she goes, ah. And the parents are like, did you just really fucking slap her right now? Like, what are you doing? She's like, well, she asked me to. When she gets tired, she asked me to slap her. You see everybody looking at them. They are
Good
so
Lord.
funny. Just watch Love, Thy Nader. That's all. Rants
It's
over.
really good. It is really
Mhm.
good. I do have to say. And I don't know. I just started watching what did I start watching? Oh, Made in Chelsea. Well, I started watching that because we have a friend on it. So I was watching it. I'm like, oh my God, this is actually my guilty pleasure. There's no confessionals and they are not afraid to walk up to each other, just be like, so this is my problem.
Toaster JB. No, I didn't say
No one said
Jimmy
that.
Kimmel-
Yeah.
I didn't say that. No, I know that Ryan Seacrest produced I'm a diehard Kardashians fan.
Yeah.
Toaster.
Jimmy Kimmel
Um,
produced Love Thy
Love,
Nader.
Thy Nader. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely go check it out though. But guys, I thought we were going to do this for about 40 minutes. I feel like we covered a lot. We're going to be on standby to figure out what the is happening in OC and with a few
Wow.
other of these topics. I think it's like TBD for a lot of us. We're just waiting to see how everything rolls out, but we'll be watching. And it's Friday. Jason and I came down with the bug.
Friday.
I don't know. We're not feeling our best. But
I'm
hopefully
finally feeling better today. A little bit. Not all the way, but
I'm literally sweating down to my ass right now because I have like the sweats and the chills. I'm not even joking. But okay, here we are. And listen, a bitch has got to work. So we work.
we gotta work.
Okay.
We'll be back on Monday for Hot Messy. Tuesday is Anchor Watch. Next Friday for Hot Messy, we have Beyond the Blinds is going to come on with Adam. So yeah, exciting week next week too.
Yeah.
And we're 8 weeks away from BravoCon.
8 weeks away. Jason, did you miss anything?
No, I don't think so. Did I?
No. I feel like we hit everything. All right, guys. We're going to post more videos today, more polls on the community tab, more videos on Up and Adam channel 1 and 2. If you're listening to this on the podcast, please give us a 5-star review and tell us what one of your favorite topics were. and then go vote in the polls for sure. And then if
Definitely.
you have not caught the members, go join members, catch the last 2, because we're going to be adding more every single week. And we'll be talking about Real Housewives of London and some behind the scenes shit as well. So I love you guys, and we will see you later. Bye, guys.
Have a great weekend. Bye.